Hello all. So yesterday we created a master data table with the help of data elements and domains. So we have also used fixed values, right? In domain level, for city, go to the domain, value ranges. We are using fixed values so that we are providing the possible entries for the field so that user can select only those possible entries, right? For the city, you can provide the description, but this is not the actual value. This value, whatever the value available in the fixed column, that will be stored in the table. Okay, this is just a description about that value. Okay, since it's a defined value, right? It's not undefined value, right? City, we can we can count what are the cities available in a country, right? It's not undefined value, it is a defined value, so that we can use fixed values, right? Let me show you another example. I'm adding one more field, that is phone number. I'm creating a data element and domain. Looks like someone have already created this. Let me take a different name. But in general, in projects, if there is already a suitable data element, use it. Okay, you don't need to create again. Okay. For now, I'm just creating for your learning purpose. I'm creating a data element. Provide the field label. Okay. Now, let's say I want to restrict a specific range of numbers, right? So only user should be able to select only those numbers in between that range, right? So I'll provide a starting range and a higher range value. So user should be able to select values only in between those given ranges, right? So how can you restrict that? So create a domain. For now, I'll save it in the local object. That means local package. Data type numc, maybe 10, right? Now go to value range. So what is my requirement? I want to restrict a specific range of values. For example, so user should be able to enter value between 100 to 200, right? 100 to 200, or user should be able to enter values between multiple ranges. For example, I'll give you one range here, 99, right? This is one range, and upper limit is I'll give you around some 90. So user should be able to enter values in between these two ranges only. Okay. So users cannot enter values between other. So user cannot enter value which is not in between this range. Okay. Similarly, you can provide another range of values. Multiple ranges also possible, so that users can enter only values between either this range or this range. Okay, right? Whatever the value you are entering, that should be in between the first range or second range, right? Or you can also provide multiple range of values. Okay. That is by using intervals. When we go for single values, for defined values, if you want to fix some values like gender, right? Male, female, other. Weeks, Monday to Sunday, 7 weeks. Months, January to December. These are all defined values, right? These are all constant. It won't change any time, right? They're all fixed. So you can use, for those kind of values, you can use single values. But when you go for intervals, when you want to provide an option for the user to enter between a range of values, right? You will provide a lower limit and upper limit. So you should be able to enter all values in between that upper limit and lower limit. Okay, in that case, we go for intervals. Let's activate this, activate the domain, go back, activate the data element. As long as domain is active, as long as data element is active, you are not able to use a domain and data element in your table. If they are active, you can automatically see this data type and length here. Please check if it is active or not. This should be in active status. Okay. Now, let's try to enter some values. Activate the table. I've added one more field for the existing table, right? Now, let's try to enter some values. Table contents, create entries. Now, observe the phone number. So, it is showing the two ranges which you have provided in the domain level. So, you can enter values in between these two possible ranges. Okay. So, it will show possible range of values here. Possible inputs. What are the possible values you can enter for that? Okay. When you use, when you configure domain level values by using fixed values and intervals, there is another concept called value table. So value table is also suffice the same purpose, right? But instead of hard coding it, instead of entering the values directly in the domain level, you will configure into a table so that you don't need to change the domain every time, right? You don't need to change the domain. You can keep on adding the values. If you configure the value table, you don't need to change the domain every time. You just add the values. You can just add the new values whenever required. You don't need to change any domain if there is any new value available. Okay. Now let me create one more table, that is I'll maintain employee department data. I'll maintain employee department data. And employee and which department he belongs to. Employee department. Before that, we'll see how these tables are related. This is employee master data. This is employee master data table. And there is one more table, that is employee department. So what are the fields we need to maintain in employee department table? Employee ID. And what is the other field we need to maintain? To maintain the employee and corresponding departments. Department ID, right? So we need to have two fields to maintain employee department data, right? Let's say I have few employees here, 100, name, some city, HYD, 200, name, some city, some Chennai. Now, in department data also we are maintaining the data, and here I am maintaining department for employee 201. Is it a valid employee ID? Tell me, is it a valid employee ID?
It's not correct, sir.
This is employee master. Is this employee available in employee master table? Is this 201 available in employee master table?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, right? It is not there. So, it's not a valid employee. We should not allow the users to enter random numbers, right? We should not allow the users to enter the random numbers. We should allow the users to enter only valid values. But how can we make sure this value is a valid value or not? We need to establish a relation between employee master data and which one? The department master data employee ID. So now tell me, what is the master data for employee ID field? Employee master data table. This is the source of employee ID values. Employee master table is the source of employee ID values, right? If the employee ID is available in employee master table, then only we consider it as a valid employee ID. Okay? If employee ID is available in employee master table, then only we consider it as a valid employee ID. Otherwise, it is not a valid employee ID. That is about employee ID. What about the department? Can we enter any department name here? Employee ID is valid, but I have entered some ad, admin department. How can we make sure the department ID is a valid department ID or not? For that, we maintain one more separate table for which one? Department master data. Department master data. Just like employee ID, we maintain a separate table with the department master data. Now, whatever the departments available in the department master data, so only these departments I consider as valid departments, right? So I have to establish a relation with this department ID with this department ID value with the department ID master data table, so that this table will accept only valid departments. So this is employee department table, and this is department master table, right? This is a department master table, right? So when we are discussing about master data and transactional data, what did we discuss? Master data is something which changes very rarely, and master data is mandatory to create any transactions, right? So first we need to maintain the master data tables, and then we need to maintain the transactional data tables. But how can you make sure whatever the value you entered is a valid value or not? For that, we use a check on the master data table. We establish a relation between master data table and that the check table, right? We call now, we have a concept called this, we called as a check table for EMPID. This is department master table is a check table for department ID. So right, so employee master data table is a check table for employee ID, and department master data is a check table for department ID table. Then what do we call this table? This we called as a foreign key table. So what do we call this table? Foreign key table. So fields of this table having relationship with the check tables, that is employee master table and department master table. So why we need this foreign key relationship or check tables? To make sure we are creating only valid values to restrict invalid data. So why we need this concept of check table and foreign key? To restrict the invalid data. So user should be able to enter only valid data. How can you make sure the value is a valid value or not? If that value is available in the corresponding check table. For example, I am trying to enter 201, right? Employee ID 201. Is that 201 value available in employee master table or not? If it is available, we consider it as a valid value. Otherwise, invalid value. Okay. In the same way, if the department ID is available in department master table, we consider it as a valid department, right? Then only we consider it as a valid department. So now we need to create a foreign key relationship between different tables to establish that relationship. Okay. Now we call this master data table as check table, and whatever the table that is having relationship with the master data table, what do we call that? What type of table we call it?
Check table.
Foreign key table. Check
Foreign key
tables are
table.
master tables, right? Check tables are master table where I can go and check, hey, this value is available in your table or not, right? That's called, that one we call as check table, right? The table which is trying to check in the master data table, that is a foreign key table. Okay. So this one is the foreign key table in this example, right? Because for employee ID, employee master table is the check table. For department ID, department master table is the check table, right? Let's quickly create a table. First, I'll create department master data. Create. Application table, allowed fields. So what are the fields we need to maintain in a department master data table? DEPT ID, and it's a primary key. Looks like someone already created this. Let me change the name. Double click to create the data element. Save it in the local object. Provide the field label. Okay. Now, sorry, we need to maintain the domain. So maintain the domain. I'm using same name for domain name. It is not available. Create the domain. What is the data type suitable for domain ID? Sorry, department ID.
Char.
Here
Character.
I'll take around 10. Okay. I don't want to be a case sensitive. Activate the data element. Back. So table field is ready, and what type of table it is? Master data table, right? Size category, I'll take it as 0. Save the technical settings. Do we need more fields in the department master data? Do we need any other fields in the department master data table?
Department name.
Yeah. So we can maintain department name, but maybe that's not mandatory, right? By looking at SAP, you can easily find out that it's a SAP department. But if you want to maintain some description, so use one more field like department name. Okay. For now, you don't need that. Activate the table. Now create some sample entries. Utilities, table contents, create entries. SAP, save it. Control S. Java, Control S. Admin, Control S. HR, Control S. Sales, Control S. Saved few records. Let me check the records in the department master data table. So these are the department master data values. Now let's go back to our another table we need to create, that is employee department table. We need to map which employee belongs to which department, right? So we need to map the employee with a specific department, and even one employee can be available in multiple departments, right? It's a one-to-one relationship, right? One employee can be working in multiple departments, one-to-one relationship. Please keep that in mind and create the table. Now create the table. There is a possibility that one employee may be working in multiple departments, right? Now load. Now tell me what are the fields we need to maintain in this table to map employee with a department. What are the fields we need to use in this table?
Department ID.
Department ID. Is it a key field or non-key field? Non-primary key field. Department ID. Do we need to take it as a primary key field or non-primary key field? The other value is employee ID. So which one should be the primary key here? So we need to maintain employee and corresponding departments in a table, just like this. I've just shown you, right? Just like this, employee and corresponding department. But I want to make sure it should allow one employee in multiple departments. Now what should be the primary key? I want to maintain data like this. Again, 200 SAP department, 200 in Java department, 100 SAP department. How to maintain the value like this? So what are the primary keys possible for this table? Just try, just guess something and tell me at least. What should be the primary key?
Employee ID.
Okay, employee ID is the primary key, right? If you take only employee ID as primary key, can you enter multiple values for the same employee ID to maintain multiple departments like this? 200 employee ID 200 is in multiple departments. So if you take employee ID is the only primary key, you cannot repeat same employee ID again, and you cannot maintain one more department record with the same employee ID. So in this case, you have to take both department ID and employee ID as a primary key so that you can maintain multiple departments for the each employee. Okay, is everyone clear? Sorry, I did not maintain the technical settings. Maintain the technical settings, save it, go back and activate the table. Now let me create some entries. Do we have finance department available? Do we have finance department available? No, right? We have
No.
only 4 departments, like finance department is not available in this table. Do you have employee ID 500 available? This is also not available, but I am trying to save these values in the employee department table. Server is slow. Let's wait for a few minutes. Should we allow this value or reject this department value and employee ID value? Can we accept these values? Can we accept these values? Finance department and employee ID 500. We should not accept, right? Because these values are not available in the master data check tables. But even though it's created the record, if you go back and check the table contents, it created the record with those invalid department ID and invalid employee ID. Should we allow this behavior? No, right? We should restrict that, right? Yes or no? So what is the concept we can use to restrict the invalid value? Foreign
Foreign
key.
key.
Foreign key. Please make a note. Foreign key. Here select the foreign key relationship. First, for which field you want to restrict? Department ID. I don't want to allow invalid department ID. Select the department ID. Assign the foreign key. Select foreign key. What is the check table for department ID table? Z test. What is the master table? DEPT, right? Create proposal. You don't need to do anything. Create proposal. It will automatically detect the field of the check table. Now what is the check table here? Department master data is the check table, and what is the foreign key table? Employee department table is the foreign key table. It will map both fields, right? Copy, click on copy. Now for the employee ID, assign the foreign key relationship. What is the table name? Z test employee. Create proposal, copy. It will automatically assign. Why it is automatically able to detect? Because data elements of the both fields are same. Okay, that's why it is able to automatically find source check table value and foreign key value. Sorry, not value, table. Yeah, sorry. So I've assigned a foreign key relationship for department ID, and for employee ID also I've assigned a foreign key relationship by using check table. Check table nothing but master data table for employee ID. But when I click on create, how it is able to find check table field suitable for this foreign key table field. It is automatically assigning, right? Check table employee ID field is assigned to foreign key table employee ID. So how it is able to detect that? Because the data element names of both check table field and foreign key table fields are same, right? That's why it is able to automatically detect. So what is the field available in check table for this employee ID? So how it is able to detect? Because the data element names are same in both the master data table and check table for this employee ID field, right? Is everyone clear? So by using foreign key, you can restrict invalid entries to the table, right? What are the rules to assign a foreign key relationship? The data element name should be same in both the check table and foreign key table. Which one should be the check table? The master data table is the check table, and the table which you are trying to establish the foreign key relationship is the foreign key table. This is the foreign key table. Okay, this one we called as foreign key table, right? It's a very important interview question. Check table and foreign keys. Sometimes they'll ask you to explain about check tables. You need to explain about check table and foreign key relationship. Both are together, right? Both are same concepts. Is everyone clear? Check table and foreign key, both are same concepts. If someone asks you about foreign key, you should be able to explain check table, and if someone asks you about check table, you should be able to explain foreign key relationship. Okay, is everyone clear? Clear or not? Please let me know if you are not clear on this concept. I'll explain again.
Yes, sir.
Yes means do you want me to explain or what?
No, it's clear, sir.
Everyone, please respond. Is everyone clear on this? So why we use foreign keys? Whenever you create a table, that might be a master table or transactional table, right? Assign a foreign key relationship to make sure you are allowing only valid entries into the table. Okay. Let's try to create some records. Let's try to create some records in this table. Activate the table. I've assigned a foreign key relationship, right? Again, I'm activating the table. Now create entries in this table. Table. Create entries. Now I'm trying to create sales, manufacturing department. Now I'm trying to create EMP 400. This is not this is also not available, right? Click on save. What is it saying? This is a error message. This is a error. It's not allowing to save. What it is saying? Entry MANF does not exist in ZTest DEPT, right? Does not exist in ZTest DEPT. It's saying you entered the invalid value which is not available in the check table. Let me correct this value SAP. I'm enter SAP. It is automatically showing that value here. Now try to save it. Press save. What it is saying? Entry EMP 400 does not exist in the check table. That means it's saying employee ID 400 is not available in the check table. It is not a valid employee ID. Let me select valid employee ID 100. It is allowing. So database record successfully created. Even you can see all the possible values here. These are from check table. These are from check table. And these values are from employee master table. Right? These possible values are from employee master table. So check table is for field level validation. Please remember, check table is for field level validation. We assign this field level validation. We assign these check tables in the field level. Okay, we assign check tables in the field level. What about the value table? In which level these value tables are available? Domain level, right? Value tables are for domain level validation, and check tables are for field level validation. Please make a note of it. So check tables are for field level validations, and value tables are for domain level validation. Okay, this is how we assign the check table. So whenever you assign the check table, it won't allow you to save invalid records in the table. Okay, is everyone clear? Is everyone clear? Tomorrow we'll complete creating this basic table creations. Okay, and then again we'll go back to other concepts in ABAP. Is everyone clear on this? Tomorrow I'll explain one more time about check table and value table with some example, right? And we'll try to complete table creations concept. And there are some other concepts in data dictionary. We'll see after some time, right?